Hey, I'm Beck Taylor. I'm from Glitoris. Glitoris is a 4-piece feminist punk band. We perform really, really loud mayhem music, a bit of pop, a bit of rock, a lot of punk, but generally very angry, aggressive music by 4 women who don't look like they should be rocking out on stage based on what you know of society. So it's a bit of a confronting experience, but that's what we want.
Well, you say Beck, but you're also Tony
Yep.
in this band. You've got Kevin 007 on guitar and vocals, Andrew on guitar and vocals as well, and Malcolm on bass and vocals. Now, for people who don't know much about Aussie politics, where'd you get the names?
We thought it would be hilarious if our stage names were really daggy Australian politicians, just as a hilarious in-joke, and then that kind of stuck, and now we refer to each other on stage as our male names, kind of as a joke, and kind of making people kind of realise the fact that the top end of society in most fields is predominantly men still, so kind of confronting them with that as well.
Yeah, your name's got both sides of the two-party system covered as well. It's like you're
That wasn't
not biased.
intentional.
Do you think that's important for political music? Is it good not to take sides?
No,
I
don't think. Yeah, I think yes, they're all fucked to a certain extent because politics is such a historically based thing, and the law as well. It's so steeped in tradition that it's hard to get diversity and change to happen quickly. So I don't think in punk music you need to take sides. That was unintentional, but I think it's important to be strong to what you believe in and be okay with presenting it on stage. In the majority of Australia, there's still very much this shame to do with women's sexuality, women's bodies, objectifying bodies, and the whole idea that young girls in Australia are still and continue to grow up in a society where they are told they're valued for their appearance and that's all. And that really frustrates me.
You rage against misogyny. We've seen some terrible examples of that in federal politics, from attacks on our only woman Prime Minister, Julia Gillard, by male colleagues and protesters. The whole ditch the witch, July thing. It's the less full-on but no less infuriating obsession with what women MPs are wearing, to how their voices sound. How does that all translate to a Glitoris song?
Oh God, I mean, you must know it working in media, the attacks that women get that men don't get. What we find in Glitoris is that we've kind of highlighted this really special lexicon of words that only women use, or only women get called, that men don't get called. So we've realized that this whole bucket of language that women get called and men don't get called, so there's this different standard for women, and we kind of experiment that with Glitoris. We have a song called Slut Power, that the whole song is just words and phrases that women get called, and so it's kind of like the word slut, for example. So we're kind of trying to turn those words, like that word, and trying to make it an empowering thing and say, no, it's like, for your body, it can be an empowering thing. If you're totally on board with wearing whatever you want, then it should be an empowering thing. It shouldn't be something associated with shame or victimization and things like that. So we're kind of trying to almost hold a mirror up to society and be like, look what you use. And a lot of people don't realize they're being sexist. It's quite invisible in Australian society. We just thought that feminism happened and now we have gender inequality. Now we have gender equality.
Freudian.
Yeah. But there's actually heaps and heaps of inequality in our society that still hasn't been addressed. So Glitoris was kind of a reaction to this inequality that as we grew older and we were musicians in many different bands, we started to realize that this society men are just valued more than women. And it was particularly, the catalyst was the way Julia was treated by the media, by other politicians. That was the catalyst for Glitoris. So after that we said, all right, it's time, let's do it. Let's do a one-off gig where we protest as naked women covered in glitter to say, fuck you, society, fuck this. And then it just kind of springboarded from there.
And now the Veronicas are doing it.
And now the Veronicas seem to be fans of Glitoris, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, girls.
Dolly magazine's actually no more as of today. Does that?
What?
Is that
Really?
A good thing for you?
Actually, I heard a rumor about this.
I think it'll be online, but the old print is gone. Sign of the times. Print's dead, but do you think that's a good thing?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Dolly and those magazines have a function of educating young girls about sexuality and things, but they also have a function of teaching girls what society thinks they should be. And the idea of a beautiful woman in those magazines is such a narrow idea of beauty and of bodies, and then women have to, I know so many girls who are my age and have to they've had to unlearn what they learned as teenagers about their bodies and self-shame and all this sort of stuff. And it would just be great if that didn't exist and women could be more confident and grow up to be more confident instead of looking at leadership positions and going, oh, maybe not, oh, it's so full of men, I don't know, and that's the barrier, I think, is that young girl education, role models for young girls to grow up and be like, all right, we can do this, sure, we'll do anything.
I'd love to get your take on overuse of the word cunt, particularly men using it as an affectionate term for their friends or a put down.
Yeah.
Do you think, hey, that's my word, you can't use it? Or does it just show how powerful the word still is?
I think, on one hand it is very powerful, but on the other hand it's degrading, because if you're saying someone's a cunt, it has a negative connotation, and that negative connotation is associated with a vagina, so that is assuming that that's a bad thing. And I mean, all through history that's been a bad thing. A derogatory term is women's body parts and that sort of stuff, so it's just a bit of a hangover from that, I think. But I don't know, we use the word cunt a lot in our set, and a lot of people do, a lot of women around the world are starting to bring back the power in it, so it could change.
I've seen you play live on a big stage supporting Regurgitator. You were heavy as fuck, and your voices, whether high or shrill or whatever the usual criticisms of women's voices are, commanded respect and commanded attention and projected authority. When you yell slut power or what a cunt, it makes people sit up and listen. Yeah,
cool, thanks. That's great that we hear that. And I think the female voice is something that has been an issue for women in music. Not having the deep male authority that we associate with leadership, that deep voice. Having a higher voice, it is harder to command attention. So that's cool that you're getting in Glitoris. I mean, we often yell, we often sing at the same time, all four of us, and we also sing with a lot of conviction. And I think maybe that helps send that message across. So that's great feedback, thank you.
You also rage against misogyny in the music scene, in everyday society. You have songs about domestic violence, the fact a woman dies every week at the hands of their male partner in this country. The hashtag not all men crowd who constantly shout back, but what about violence against men? How do you turn that kind of frustration and those heavy themes into something that people want to sing along to and rock out to?
Great question. It's been a hard thing for us. It's easy to write a really, really angry song, right? You just get freaking angry, you just rant, you put a beat to it, whatever. It's not easy, but it's harder to make a song that gives any sort of hope or promise or encouragement with the anger. So we're finding it in Glitoris when we songwrite. We're always trying to go yes, we're angry, but it's not the end. It's not the end of the world. We can make it better, and we are together making it better. So I think it's a combination of killer songwriting and the themes being good, and then having choruses that are uplifting. But it's a great question that we are always working on.
Yeah, you're totally.
And musicians in the same genres, I'm sure it's a similar battle.
Yeah, and the music's obviously key and really important as well.
Yeah.
Do you think you can get away with really strong lyrics if the music's not good enough?
I don't know. I think the majority, some of your songs can be really, really, 2 chords, punk, nothing, just same. But I think if the majority of the music doesn't have some sort of variability and, richness or something, then people will switch off pretty quick. And you probably know that as a musician. You need a little bit of that, not sophistication, but a little bit, something that to grab onto orally to get your listeners impassioned and wanting more, to listen more, really.
You seem to pack a whole lot of issues into the one Glitoris set too. So Australia's handling of asylum seekers, how we're behind on same-sex marriage, even misunderstanding of the gender spectrum, and then those punk rock classics like Capitalism and the move internationally towards the right. I'm not the first person to say this, but it's like we need Glitoris now more than ever.
Thanks. A few people have said that the last few years. They're like, whoa, this is the time. We need Glitoris. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. Yeah. What was it? Marilyn Manson said that the best time for political music was during conservative governments, and I'm sure you know that as well. It does give us extra impetus to keep going, and it means our fans are really impassioned about it even more. So in that way it's good, but it's not good, it's not good that, you know, Donald Trump. We have a song that we wrote about Donald Trump a couple months ago, and then we thought, oh, November's going to come, and we're never going to have to play. We'll have to record it now and release it before the election because he won't get. And then he got in, and we're like, oh, that's good for us, but terrible for everyone. So it's this kind of, yeah.
Tell me about the Glitterati. They're not all women, are they?
No, they're not all women. So we call our fans the Glitterati, and they are so passionate, and they're the reason we do it. Like, honestly, they're the reason we kept being a band, because these people were so passionate. And we never went out to be a band that would, you know, represent a huge, diverse popular. We never really thought about the fan. You know, when you start a band, you never think about, well, this is for these fans. You know, this particular group of fans. You just start the band, and hopefully people like it. But it seems to have connected with a huge, diverse, you know, population, the LGBTI community in Canberra and around Australia, where we've toured a bit. And also we have a lot of male fans. We always have a lot of female fans, but we were really surprised that heaps of male fans. We've had male fans like come to a gig with Glitoris like shaved into the back of their heads. Huh. Male fans who've like made band t-shirts. Really passionate, progressive men who I guess are just really happy to see some diversity on stage.
You say you're well branded and it's the right timing and all that, and even talking about how you write songs and then you almost kick yourself because they come true and you're like, oh no. How do you strike that balance between writing something that's punchy but then also not being seen like you're capitalizing on a shitty situation?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a hard question, but I think instead of capitalizing, it's more like pointing at and magnifying what's going on. But yeah, something we might have to deal with in the future.
Well, it's not exactly a great marketing method for most people.
It's not really planned. Like, we didn't want Donald Trump to. Oh God, we definitely didn't want. We had a rehearsal the night that he got elected, and remember it was like a crazy downpour of rain that Wednesday a couple of weeks ago, and we all came in from the car drenched with rain and looked at each other and just went, "What the fuck just happened?" We're all just really depressed. The America would just endorse misogyny and racism. It's just like, wow, all right. I thought we were making progress, but yeah.
Do you think there's people out there that want some retribution for what they thought was going to change the way we do things?
I mean, based on that Marilyn Manson quote, maybe there is now a new, you know, movement towards political music. I mean, look at the 90s, right? When the Howard government came in, we, you know, had all these awesome political bands like TISM and Regurgitator, and there were just quite a few bands saying important stuff that the last 10 years we haven't seen as much of. So maybe now we'll see it more.
So, who are your favourite politically and socially aware artists? Who inspires you? And do you see this new world order of Donald Trump, Brexit, and right-wing governments leading to more political bands getting out there, more reactive music and art?
I think so. I think music, art, also just commentary on social media, commentary around the world is all heading, I think, more towards the left at the moment as a reaction to the right. So whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's governments sending messages like the Californian Parliament like sent this very direct message that was really anti kind of Trump's ideas. So I think there is a movement possibly towards that more progressive ideas. And I think with Glitoris we've kind of our tour's just really taken off, and I think part of it is because people are really disillusioned at the moment. So I love Midnight Oil. I'm like a massive Oils fan. So I just love their courageousness, and I love their just like lack of fear. You know, I just love musicians who have no fear and do what they want because it's what is true to them. So like even musicians like Joni Mitchell, like a really early on political music that really spoke to me as a young woman growing up. Annie DeFranco as well, some really cool stuff there. There's heaps of really cool kind of bands along similar to Glitoris around the world at the moment. Yeah, I think, you know what, I think political bands like Glitoris play a role in forming communities. So what I found is like our gigs, often people don't come for the music, they come for the idea and they come for the identity, and we sell a lot of merch and stuff. I think that's part of thinking, okay, Glitoris, I'm aligned with this, you know, so maybe bands have more of that physical community and online community thing of like bringing people together who have similar ideas.
Alrighty, well, Beck, cheers for talking to Party Political.
Thanks, Party Political, anytime.